Yet down goes the Zyra, probably getting locked up. The ulti, big damage comes in from Shift.
That's a big catch right there. Inox once again, the front catch. Good damage back onto Wild Turtle. He dives, copies stops full time right away. What a dive is from Seraph. But do they have the follow-up? Dominate takes a few more culling shots on the backside. It is not going to be enough. Vasili's low. Wait a minute. It's going to be High coming in. He's going to get the rock down to the Guardian Angel of Vasili. Meteos on the back line. A few more shots for him to solidify a kill, and kill secured. Welcome to Week 5 of the North American League Championship Series. We've got another full day of summer split action coming to you live from our studios here on the Pacific Rim. It's Friday, so you're probably wondering why the NA-LCS is on right now. It's because we love you so much. Hello, I'm Rivington Bislin III, and they say one is the loneliest number. So joining me at the analyst desk to kick off the day are Joshua Jat-Leesman and Sam Kobe Hartman-Kensler. Everyone, we entered Week 5 with a three-way tie for first, and then there were two. LMQ has been knocked from their perch by Counterlogic Gaming, and now CLG and Dig are tied at the top of the table. What are we thinking, guys?
Yeah, honestly, CLG looks better than they have the entire split I've seen, maybe even the year. Early on, when Seraph first joined, CLG kind of played a little bit 4v5 for a while as they were playing on communication. He was not doing well, but he seems like he's really calmed down and settled in, and in the meantime, Doubled and Aftermove have just taken it to a whole nother level. They are just carrying pretty much every game they're in. But as you can see, the Dexter-Seraph synergy is getting higher as well. So CLG actually might be the best team in NA right now.
All right. Kobe, what are your thoughts on Dig?
Now, Dig, they're also a really interesting team because they have such strong individual players. However, you know, even with these two new coaches, they sometimes get into trouble in the draft phase. And inside the games even, they give off this feeling that they're kind of flying by the seat of their pants. However, they do it with so much confidence. That's really what fans love about a Dignitas team. It's that sanguine attitude. And they just bring this over and over. You have to wonder, sometimes at the interviews, are the jokes really just covering up some of the reasons behind their strategies and the thought process so they don't give away too much to their enemies?
Yeah, you got to wonder, Crumb's being like, yeah, this guy, Kiwi Kid, did the level 1. And Kiwi Kid says, I don't know why we did that.
What did we do?
Do you actually? I'm not sure.
There's got to be some reasoning behind it.
Well, the shift in the standings was accompanied by a real shift in strategy. We've seen teams evolve this split, and the latest fashion right now is the Quick Dragon so far. LMQ took the fastest of the split yesterday at 2 minutes and 58 seconds, but Get Rich just kind of seems like a quick trend.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of my favorite things because the value of the early Dragon is the same while the average level in the game is 6 or below. So if you take it at 2 minutes, it's worth the same as if they waited till 3 minutes to take it. However, this is a very risky proposition for any team, and it necessitates that juggling of the Dragon aggro so that you don't take too much damage, because if you take too much damage while doing it, the objective's not even worth it in that case. And we've seen how easily this can be interrupted. EG performed it very well, going over. All they had to do was look at the team that was doing Dragon, and they stopped it, because Dragon in the early game does more damage than one champion, so you only have to bring 2 people to interrupt a 3-man Dragon.
And Kobe, we've been seeing more and more of the early Dragons in North America. I do think we saw the start of them trying to contest it, and I think we're going to be seeing even more of it next week in the North American LCS, as the early game Dragon Gold has been increased to make it more of a even bigger objective early on in the game. So I'm really interested in how that evolves in North America.
Shifting from the strategy to champion select, we're seeing a shift in emphasis here. A higher priority on bans to the AD carries and junglers has seen 2 very now exclusive clubs. AD carry VIPs are Twitch and Lucian, if to say, and the jungler VIPs are Elise and Lee Sin. Outside of that, teams are really trying to come up with something viable option to compete with. Yeah. What have we found so far?
Well, I feel like because teams have tunneled so hard on Lee Sin and Elise previously, when those are removed from the table, teams are kind of left without many options. Helios, I think, brought out the jungler who might kind of join the club, even regardless of some of the bans. Nunu brings everything people are wanting out of the jungler right now. We're seeing early Sight-Stones on Elise and Lee Sin. Nunu can buy a Sight-Stone before all of them and has stronger objective control. So we saw No Name do it, we saw Helios do it yesterday, but Nunu is probably my pick for the next big jungler.
I really like the Nunu pick because not only does he have great buff control, but he also can buff up AD carries really well with that late game Blood Boil. And we've seen a trend again towards late game AD carries here.
Jinx yesterday.
Jinx popping up all over the place. I like this because a lot of the teams are tailoring their compositions around using one of these end game hyper carries where they bring Lulu and Orianna. Not only do they provide shields, but they have all these slows and so much utility to kite backwards for the late game for these hyper carries. Plus, with the new changes you're talking about next patch, we're already looking forward to new changes for AD carries. Infinity Edge gets a boost, so late game AD carries are going to be big.
All right, well, we're talking right now about big plays. Why talk about them when we can show them? Here are a few of the huge moments you were calling out with hashtag LCS Big Plays.
From LMQ versus CLG, it's the Afro Ace. At GDabs22 writes, Afro landing the bind for his teammate, CLG caster minion. Here's your number 3.
These teams are not backing down from either one of us.
Whoa, whoa. Afro going deep.
See him.
Oh, he hits it with
Minion.
the caster minion. Oh my gosh, that just happened.
That is 100% kill participation for Afro.
Whether you're pushing minions or getting kills with minions, I love anytime minions are participating. And you wanted to see more from the same game, so here's more. From the same game, at White Tiger Ice says, nice name. Moore's Lantern to save Vasily was amazing. Here's your number 2. Use it. See
wanna
what
get the
happens
pick.
right here. In and out, quick enough to get someone to die. Whoa, the Lantern on the other side.
Yeah, CLG threw the kitchen sink at LMQ right there and still didn't come away with the kill, thanks to some sneaky moves by Moore.
Seems like every week we have a Thresh highlight somewhere in the LCS Big Plays.
Yeah, I was talking to Double Lift about the Orianna and Jinx synergy there too. He doesn't like it anymore because it's hard to hit rockets. People moving all over the
By
place.
the way, from the Cloud9 vs. Curse game, Cop got carded in that one. At Nick Doggy Dog tweets, high gold card turnaround in the bot lane against Jinx was beautiful. Here's your number 1.
Jinx is excited, balls goes down, boss balls as well, but can they get high? They've got to be careful, Zap, gonna get flashed away, Bob, dodging, gold card, damage, kill picked up.
I'm gonna kill this guy, okay, Sneaky?
It's a gold card.
Yeah, yo, kill him, kill him, kill him. Okay.
False sense of security, secure. Keep an eye out for more of those hair-raising or hilarious moments today. Then share them by tweeting at LOL Esports and be sure to use the hashtag LCS Big Plays. Taking a look at the standings, and as we discussed, Dignitas CLG are tied for first each with 8 wins and 3 losses.
Then Cloud9 and LMQ are sharing 3rd place, followed by TSM in 4th.
And in 6th, it's another tie with Evil Geniuses and Curse, and Complexity, unfortunately, is sitting in last.
And we are looking to take to the Rift today and launch off with our first of the 4 games as Dignitas takes to Complexity.
Then TSM will square off against Evil Geniuses, followed by CLG taking on Curse.
And we get to wrap up the day with a battle between Cloud9 and LMQ.
Now, we want to get your unique perspective on our Twitter question. Today, we're asking you which player has the best mechanics in the North American LCS and why.
Yes, send your responses to us at LOL Esports and use the hashtag LCS. And stay tuned because we'll be reading your answers when you least expect it.
Or right before Game 3. Before the games get underway, head over to fantasy.lolesports.com and set up your fantasy league.
Yeah, play commissioner and draft your A-team. Varsity lineup from the North American and European pro players. Then dominate your friends by racking up points based on the actual LCS games.
Yeah, log on to fantasy.lolesports.com for all the details on how to set up your team today.
This split, fantasy owners have an influx of young up-and-comers joining the LCS to choose from. And some of these young whippersnappers could learn a thing or two from their forefathers in the old guard.
Yeah, like the fact that some of them aren't even that old.
I came into playing the game before there was seasons.
I came in Season 1. I've been here since closed beta.
Back when League of Legends only had like 700 players.
And my first competitive League of Legends game was actually in DreamHack Season 1 Championships. I qualified with Dyrus, Salsi, Dan, Din, Double Lift. And I played in the World Championships, so I'm a pretty old school player, despite being particularly young.
I was on Rock Solid with Skara and Cutie Pie, and we basically just made a ragtag team of like underdogs.
The moment that I was a part of the esports scene was in IPL 3, which I believe happened in 2011. 2 people showed up to the event. there was literally a whole thing of seats, and 2 people just showed up in the audience, and just like, yeah, woo. I don't even think I had a mic at that time. I would just play the game. I'd like type. I'm like, top's missing, guys. I'd start pinging, and then Scar would be like, oh, voice saying top's missing.
The amount of people that have increased since I first started playing is enormous, and the fan base has just increased beyond all possible belief.
Definitely happy to see all these like new up-and-comers coming into the scene.
A lot of people always say that there's going to be like new young kids coming in, kicking out the old guys. When I see younger players, I think Wild Turtle was the first one that I was like, wow, is this it? Is this when somebody surpasses me in skill? It doesn't worry me that all these young kids are gonna come in and steal my job. I know I'm capable of playing with them right now, and if I train really hard, I can be better than them if I just put my mind to it.
The thing is, I'm only 19 years old. People always say stuff like, yeah, we're like one of the old guard, like it's his time to step down. Honestly, right now I feel like I'm at a peak in terms of just my like ability to play the game.
Being a veteran in esports helps you put things in perspective. I don't really get that upset anymore. If we have a bad match and people get mean on the internet, new players can get really affected by that.
For almost all the old players, like we've lost and lost and lost and understood that losses happen and how to overcome them. And I think that's something that takes its toll on newer players.
How much longer do I think I can go? I hope it was forever, but I know it's not gonna be the case.
Man, that young whippersnapper, last word there.
Those guys talking about being old makes me feel like a grandpa. I got benched 3 years ago, over 3 years ago. Man, I mean...
Well, you've been given a good retirement home. We've got to take a quick break right now before our first match. Team Dignitas versus Complexity. Stay tuned. The action continues in just 3.5.